Hello, I'm Vara,
And I'm Roxy.
and you're listening to VCR. Hey, Roxy, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Hmm.
I
We over
mean,
here just sipping on that coffee.
yes, and my little bat mug, isn't it
Uh,
cute?
my little statement to the world here.
Oh Lord, you and that damn mug.
Ah, I do love it, do love it. So, anyway, so last night we had a interesting viewing thing going on, even though we're in two different locations. Roxy and her best friend were having a champagne and chill night, and they watched some interesting stuff as I stayed home and watched some interesting stuff. And I gotta tell you, it did not disappoint. So we're doing something slightly different, not completely different. So normally we review a movie or a show for you. Instead, we're going to review three short horror films that
Yes,
were actually pretty on point. I'm gonna admit that. They were pretty good and they
they were
leave you
good.
thinking. They really do. So we jumped into three of them, and we'll go ahead and give you the titles now in case you want to like look them up while we're talking. But we saw Miner's Mountain, The Smiling Man, and Warnings. All of them were great in their own right. They were actually none of them were bad. I mean, to me, that's the first time I've seen three different things, and I thought none of them were bad.
Hmm.
Um, I have my own complaints about like short films, but in this case, they're great. Uh, but here I think my issue with short films in this case, in with all three of them, and Roxy, tell me if I'm wrong.
I will.
Yeah, I know you will. They kind of leave you with more questions and
Definitely.
answers.
I definitely had questions at the end of each one.
Yes, and like, what the fuck was it? And see, you
Now,
have
during the
more
first one I
questions.
watched, I was like, wait, I have so many questions. What's happening right now? I was like, is that child alone? Where's
Right.
her
So,
mom?
in order, which one did you watch? Like, which ones did you watch in the order?
I watched The Smiling Man first. Then I watched Warnings, I think. No. I watched Miner's Mountain and then Warnings.
Okay. So mine is pretty much in reverse. Mine was Warnings, then Smiling Man. No, Miner's Mountain, then Smiling Man was the finish for me. And that did not help because we had some thunderstorms rolling through last
It
night.
was great. It was perfect.
And then my
We
dog
had
was
flooding. We
freaking
had
out.
flooding across
Yeah,
Houston.
like then my dog was freaking out, and I was like, "Yeah, this is not. I should not have watched those this late at night." Oh, I was like, "Fuck me." So,
I forgot which one we were watching. I think it was, I don't remember if it was the ones we watched after.
mhm.
I think it was one of the ones we watched after. Sorry, I was trying to think. She screamed. Olga screamed. It scared me, so I screamed. I was like,
But
and I
that
don't do
wasn't one of
scary,
the
scary movies. Like,
but that wasn't one of the three that we watched though. That
no,
was
it was a
something else that
different one.
made you
I
scared.
have to figure out which one it was because
Okay.
it was wild. It was good though. I
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
liked it. I think we watched like two or three more after the three that you had sent me because we were like, this is interesting. Like, let's watch a few more.
Well, cool. I'm glad that that happened. I'm glad you got a little scare last night too. Last night really was a perfect night for it because, like I said, we
Oh
had
yeah.
thunderstorms rolling through Houston and it was raining. And of course, it's dark. And then it was starting to get cold, well, colder around here. And so it was just the perfect atmosphere for watching horror vignettes. What was it that you watched?
Other side of the box.
Other Side of the Box. Okay.
That one. Ugh.
Uh, I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna check it out and see what it's like. But let's jump into it. So you want to start with warnings first, or which one would you like to start with first?
Let's do Smiling Man first. It was the shortest one.
Absolutely. So Smiling Man is a 6 minute short. Um, and you get a lot in those 6 minutes. And honestly, to me, it was the creepiest one out of all of them. I
Mhm.
don't know if you agree with that. Smiling Man
It's
was the creepiest one out of all of them.
definitely creepy as shit.
hmm
It really
And
was. I was like, ooh.
yeah, like so basically what you have is this little girl is upstairs watching TV
And
and
that's when we were like, is she by herself?
yeah, so she's watching these cartoons and then all of a sudden, she sees something or hears something and she looks over and there's this balloon just in the middle of the hallway and it's a red balloon and she goes to it and the thing is there's something attached to the balloon and it
Yeah, I
took me
was
a
thinking,
while to figure it out. What
is
did you
it
think it was?
bones?
Was it?
I couldn't figure out what it was. I was like, what
See,
is that?
in the second one, I was able to see that it was like a doll's head and doll's body parts. So
Ah,
I'm not sure if that's what it was in the first bag, but there are these bags
mm,
attached to it. And so then you see this hand, this really creepy hand, putting out another balloon at the bottom of the stairs. And
oh,
then she turns around and she sees the other balloon, but she doesn't see the hand. So she goes and grabs the balloon. And then she heads over to like the kitchen area, and there is this creepy as fuck
you just see
looking,
the
yeah,
little hands in a
guy,
body. Oh,
super skinny, really long, skinny fingers. He's this
ooh.
gray and white color, and he's there behind the counter and he's doing like little tricks to entertain the little girl. So
Mm-hmm.
he pulls out this ball out of thin air and then he's doing other little things. And then all of a sudden he starts putting his hand in blood that's on the kitchen floor and starts putting it on his face like a clown.
Mm-hmm.
And then he reveals that it's the little girl's mom because you see these groceries on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly
Yeah, when I
something
saw
has
those, I was
happened.
like, oh,
Yeah, so
uh-oh.
I was like, "Oh no." So he's
I was like, oh,
killed.
there's mom.
Yeah, there's the mom. But see, here's the issue with it. Like when the mom sees the daughter, it's really funky because like the mom takes the last breath and dies. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh no." And so then it leaves you with the idea that he's now about to kill the little girl, but it doesn't show anything. It just shows him going shh, and then it fades out from there.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, so what happened? Did he take her? Did he kill
Yeah.
her? Like, what happened? What happened?
So it leaves you with these questions, but oh my God, that really was the creepiest one out of all of them. And like I said, it's only 6 minutes. It's
It was
not
really
something
creepy.
you should watch in the middle of a thunderstorm at night by
By
yourself.
yourself.
Save that for a daylight kind of feature.
Definitely watch it during
Yeah,
the
just in the
day.
daylight kind of situation. But that was really good. And here's the cool thing. So I looked up like the actor's name who played the Smiling Man because he did an excellent job. He was super creepy. He's visually disturbing, and the name of the actor is Strange Dave.
Strange Dave. Of
Strange
course, it's
Dave.
Strange
Not
Dave.
even anything, just Strange Dave. I was
Strange
like,
Dave.
how cool is that?
Yeah, he's really cool. You never met him before?
Mm-mm. He's so strange. So, but that one was worth it. I would totally watch that again
Mhm.
with some friends or something. But that one was totally worth it. And then which brings us to our next one, Warnings or Minor Mountain.
Oh, Miner's Mountain.
Miner's Mountain was an interesting one. Now that one had some really great production quality
That
behind
one
it.
was really good. Like I was like, this needs to be a feature film. Like
It
this needs to be a movie. 'Cause
yes, it does.
I want to watch more. Like what
And
happened leading up to this? I want to know what happened after.
and it's about 20 minutes. Would you say it's about 20
I
minutes?
think so. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's like
it's
19
about
something, so almost 20 minutes, something like
yeah,
that.
so it's like 20 minutes long. Not a very long story, but what it is you have this sheriff who is being interrogated by two FBI agents about something that happened years and years ago, like maybe over
Mhm.
10 years ago. And when he was just a young cop. And what happens is this lady calls about some stuff that she heard in the woods and then the noises that they were making and how they were staring at her. So he sleeps out in his patrol car just to kind of keep an eye on things, right? And it keeps going back and forth between what's happening in the past and the FBI agents trying to basically accuse him of doing what happened to this woman, which was the woman was basically torn to shreds and her head was removed
He
from
was
her body.
decapitated.
Yeah, so it was one of these things where the only person who was there and the only witness to it was the sheriff. And one of the FBI agents are giving him crap because, he's also black, and he's in this small town and he's the only black officer, and
Hmm.
it just becomes this bigger ordeal kind of situation. So the feds are really going after him on this, trying to nail him for it, and they keep coming back. But the reason they're back now is because apparently, and they reveal that the day prior, that another woman was killed in the exact same way that happened back then,
Hmm.
and just miles, I think you said miles away from where the first victim was. So they're looking at him again for this
Hmm.
kind of situation. Uh, but here's the interesting thing. So when he's flashing back and forth, we see what this creature is, and it's hard to tell what it's supposed. I mean, it's humanoid looking, but you don't.
Definitely humanoid.
Yeah, you don't know what it is. It almost looks like a skinless person when you first see it, but in white. That's the best way I can explain it when you first see it. Now, when you see it again later, towards the end, they just look like people who are painted white. I think that's the best. I mean, am I wrong on that one?
No, they
No.
are.
Yeah.
But it did look like they maybe had some like a few deformities.
Yeah. Maybe kind of
Kind of like the hills
zombie-esque.
have eyes.
Yes, kind of zombie-esque too, as well. So what ends up happening, and it took a while to figure out what these guys were. Matter of fact, I had to go to Internet Movie Database to figure this out, and I only did it by accident. So me and Roxy were debating what kind of creatures they were supposed to be, and Roxy threw up some great ideas, throughout some great ideas, not up, throughout some great ideas, that maybe they were supposed to be skinwalkers. And I was like,
Or Wendigos.
oh, huh?
Or
Yeah,
Wendigos.
or yeah. So maybe they're supposed to be something like that.
Wendigos. It's a
Yeah.
Wendigos. It's a
Win
Wendigo.
Windigies. How are multiple Windigies?
Wendigies.
Windigies. So what ends up happening is that I was looking online and then it says female minor, male minor. And what they are is they tell you the best backstory about why is it one of the FBI agents asked the sheriff, why is it called Miners Mountain? Like they've never really done mining here since the 1920s. So he knows that much. And then the sheriff goes into this story about how they were trying to build a mine and they were digging a tunnel through the mountain and something went wrong, and those miners who were in there died. And so they named it Miners Mountain in honor of them. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I just had a thought.
What thought?
On that show, Resident Alien,
Mhm.
isn't there a bar named after something after some miners that died in the mine?
It may be. I have not really
I
seen
wonder if
all
it's
of
like
that.
the same area. You know what I
It
mean?
it could be. You never know. Maybe it was just a tribute to the
I
movie.
just thought about that. I was like, wait, there was another show that had something similar.
Yeah, it could very well be. But like, so that's what ends up happening is like the miners died and while they were burrowing out the mountain, and so they named the town Miners Mountain in honor of them. But
Okay.
apparently the miners still exist somehow, and they come up and they tear up women. Like,
Apparently, they just hate the women.
yeah, they just tear up because they tore up the one from 10 years ago when he was younger. They tore up the other woman that they found the other day. And spoiler alert, they take the sheriff's wife. And that's where it leads you like, oh my God, what's happening next? Because the wife goes out there to bring the dog
Um,
in, and then what ends up happening is the sheriff looks outside the window and he sees those creatures hiding in the bushes, and he kind of goes into shock. And then what's happening next is you see flashing lights at his front door and they're banging on the door. So it's like they're either there to get him or arrest him, either way. But he starts screaming, he runs out to go save his wife, but his wife has already been taken. Um, that's where they leave it though.
That's where it leaves. It's like
That's
cliffhanger,
I'm like,
major cliffhanger.
oh wow. I'm assuming the wife is just dead, but like, I'm sure the other officers have to either jump in or help, or do they arrest him and like you're full of poop,
Right.
that kind of situation. So it was really interesting, really fascinating how these movies kind of worked. I loved them. They were great storylines, well written, very suspenseful. And I think that what kind of kills me is like they leave you asking for more. They really do. Which
Yeah.
brings us to our last one here, warnings, which
Warning.
probably left me with more questions than all the others.
Yeah.
And now warnings, I'm gonna hype up a little bit, even though Rock's gonna say, "Mm." But
I just wanted it
warnings,
like that, just that.
mm,
I'm
warnings.
sure they're funny.
I know they are. To me, they're hysterical. So Warnings is a short film, and
You
that's
guys
also
have
about
very different taste.
we do. That one is about 20, 30 minutes long. It's called Warnings, and it's from the sketch comedy guys called That's a Bad Idea. And that to me, they're hysterical. I showed Roxy a thing. She didn't feel it as much as I did. But if you know their comedy, it's great comedy to me. I love the catfish one in the their version of State Farm. That was so funny. But they're a comedy team and they really are good. But I didn't know that they did horror. So they did this one called Warnings, and it was pretty damn
Really
good.
good.
It was really good. Peachy Poo's joining in for our podcast here. This is Roxy's other co-host, Peach, or as I call her, Peachy Poo. So what's
She was
happened?
being needy.
Huh?
She was being needy.
She was being needy. Yeah, I got three of them here being needy right now. But in warning, so it's a Halloween party, right? And what we're starting off with is this, you hear this voiceover in the background about how this guy survived a car accident.
Mhm.
Like he was like, this guy came out of nowhere. I jumped out the way, I barely made it, like he survived is what he's saying because he was really thinking, he could have died. So it was like a second chance type of situation. So on his card, there's a note, and I forget what the first note says.
I think it said
Bite me? No.
no. It was like oh fuck, I forgot too now.
Yeah, it
I thought
says
it said don't drive your car or something.
yes. I think that's what it no, that's what the
That
second
was the
note
second
says.
one,
The
right? I
second
forgot what
one
the first
says
one
don't
said.
don't drive your car. The third note says don't trust your friends.
The
And but
first
I
note
can't remember what the first note says. It says or I think it said like um
wasn't it like
please
please don't do it or something like that.
please don't go out tonight or something like that.
Something.
So anyway, the guy sees the note and he's freaked out by it, and then he goes to his friend's house where they're preparing to have this Halloween party, and he's telling his friend about this note and how it freaks him out. And his friend is like, don't worry about it. It's nothing. It's Halloween. It's probably some kids pranking you and blah 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 and stuff like that. So then he gets more scared. It's really bothering him. So the party's over, and then he goes to his car, and inside of his car, there's a note that
Mhm.
says, "Don't drive home." So he's freaked out.
Drive your
He goes
car.
back in, explains it to his friend who is sick and throwing up because he drank too much. And so they call the police, all this other stuff. The police say there's not much we can do. Nothing's actually really
The
happened to
first
you.
note says, I'm begging you to stop.
Oh, okay. The first note says, "I'm begging you to stop." All right. Kind of weird.
Yeah,
Doesn't
you're like,
really mean a whole
what?
lot. What does that mean? It's very very very. open, very broad, right? And
Right.
so it's this thing where it triggers, him to get scared because the second note comes in. And then he's having like these dreams, or at least you think it's a dream, right? It's really weird where he's dreaming that him and his best friend are on this couch and they're
Oh
having
yeah.
this really creepy conversation. And someone takes a Polaroid picture of them. And actually, so what you see is this shadow taking a Polaroid picture of him, but really it's the guy who's getting the notes. His person or his alternate person or his shadow is taking this picture of them, a Polaroid. And then he leaves the Polaroid there in the morning. And so he sees it and then he shows it to his friends. He's like, well, explain this. He's like, how the hell did you do that? Like, how did you even prop me up? Because he was like passed out. He's like, I don't
Hmm.
remember doing this. So then it just gets weirder and weirder. And then the other notes come. And he doesn't know what's going on or what to think. And I think the final note was don't trust your friends.
Hmm.
And they keep at the towards the end, they're trying to drag him outside.
To the
And
street. They're trying to drag
yeah,
him to
to
the
the
street.
street. So, and I think they're trying to drag him outside so he'll get hit by a car. But in reality, someone else gets hit by this car. And
Hmm.
they're upset. And then he goes back in the house, and then they're in there kind of doing creepy things because apparently Death didn't take him. So they're telling Death, take him. And it's just getting weirder and weirder. And it seems like
That
they're
girl with the mask like creeping through the like,
yeah, the
oh,
way
it
she
was
was
so
walking kind of weird. I was like, oh my God.
I was like, man, she's good. Whatever,
He
she's
was
good.
really good.
That is really fucking creepy.
And what ends up happening from there is like, you know, you see our victim and you see another version of him. And the other version of him is leaving the notes.
Hmm.
But they don't explain why there are two versions of him. Is he
No.
trapped in an alternate universe? Is he trapped in a loop because he has escaped death?
Hmm. Like a
Is he in
Groundhog's Day of death or Happy Death
yes.
Day.
There you go. There you go. Or is he in purgatory? Is he like trapped between worlds? Is part of him trapped between worlds? So it leaves you with a lot of questions. I mean, just a lot of fucking questions, to be very honest. Because I was like, damn.
Yeah, 'cause at the end, I was like, oh, so he's trapped in a loop. Like he just can't escape. Like he's
E-
just trying to warn himself, like, stop, don't do this, don't do it.
Yes.
But
And
his
like he's warning himself, I think, in order to keep living. But then again, is it that he has to die in order to get out this loop?
probably,
So it's really weird, but it's great. I really enjoyed Warnings. Now, out of the ones that were the least scariest, I'm going to go with Warning was the least scariest,
yeah,
but excellent finish. I mean, like it leaves you
great. It was
thinking.
good.
Beautifully acted, excellent. So Warnings
Hmm.
was one of the tops for me. They were all good. I'm hard pressed to say which one was my favorite, though. If you had to pick, is there one that would be your favorite there, Roxy?
Miners Mountain.
Miner's Mountain. Yeah.
And I saw that they're going to be making a part two. I think they're doing a Kickstarter to do part two. And I'm
Ooh,
like, oh, come on.
part due. Ooh, very
Part
cool.
deuce.
Deuce.
I'm excited about that one. But that one
Now,
was my favorite. Like if I had to put them in order of
mhm.
those three, it'd be the Miners, Warning, and then Smiling Man. That one was just creepy as shit.
if
Like
I
it was
if you
creepy, but
if I had to do like on a creepy factor,
oh, then it would be Smiling Man.
Smiling Man is number
Number
one.
one.
But if
Yeah.
I had to put it in the order of my favorites, I would have to, I'm hard pressed. Like Warnings was good. So I would
Warning's
put
really good.
Warnings at the top and then like Miner's Mountain and Smiling Man were just neck and neck. But like in the sense of which one actually scared me like more, it would have to be Smiling Man. So I guess Smiling Man, because it has that scare effect, goes into
Hmm.
number two. But they were both so damn
Yeah.
good. And
If
and
we
the,
were going like on a scary, then yeah, definitely Smiling Man.
mhm.
But I think I like Miners Mountain better because it just kept me like, I want more. I want to see more.
Yes,
So
plot
that's why I'm like, that was my favorite.
plot wise, Miner's Mountain, plot wise and writing wise, Miner's Mountain
Hmm.
takes it. But I think the other unique thing about Smiling Man is it was a silent film.
Oh,
They
yeah.
never
It was like
spoke a
no
word.
words.
It was
No
all
words.
based on physical reaction and the acting
Mm-hmm.
and had no words in it whatsoever,
Mm-hmm. And it was still creepy as
other
fuck.
than the only word you really hear is
Oh.
at the end. It's not even a word. It's just him going, shh, and that's it. Other than
Mm-hmm.
his super creepy laugh and his super creepy look. Um, so and I guess in that way, that really does rank almost as number one because they were able to convey the whole story without words. Granted, it is a 6 minute watch, but it was a good 6 minutes. It was actually perfect. So those were really great short films. And here's the other thing. So we kind of have an interesting thing about short films, or should I say, you have an interesting thing about short films, Miss Roxy.
I do.
You do. Someone made a little short film about being in the woods and a murderous Easter bunny.
Oh, I did. I made a little bunny. I was a murderous bunny.
See how bad that is? I actually have to remind her about the
I was like,
project.
what?
Like, what? Like, how high was I when that happened?
Because it wasn't actually a film. I just kind of put it together like it was one.
But no, it was still a short little film. It was only like a minute or 2 minutes, but it was a really good, and it's told through pictures, not so much video, but pictures, like almost like if you're flipping like one of those picture books. So it leads
Oh,
you
yeah,
on
yeah.
this really good story. So Roxy came up with that all by herself, sis. So had you been like pondering that story for a
No,
minute?
actually, that wasn't even my brilliant idea. I can't take credit for that at all.
Really?
It was my bright idea to put it together like that, but the whole idea was Lamont, the photographer, of Groovy
Hmm.
Photos.
Hmm.
That was his whole idea. He was like, I have this idea. I want to do like a bunny, like a bunny in the woods,
Hmm.
but like she's Easter egg hunting and like there's a murderer and this and that. And I was like, I want to be the murderer. He was like, that was the point. So he was just like, yeah. So he had this whole idea in his head, and he just wanted to get like pictures of like a scary, like a horror Easter is what his idea was, a horror
Very,
Easter
and
story.
it
And I
was,
was like,
and
okay. And then just looking at the photos that he had given us after the shoot, I was like, oh, hold on, let me put this together really quick. And I put it together and I sent it to him, and he was like, oh my God, this is great. This is exactly what I was thinking.
Mhm.
So
And so
yeah.
you made your own little horror movie
Yeah.
vignette, and it was good. It was very good. Actually, we should link that so people can check. Is there a particular name or title to it that you created?
I don't remember what it says. I think on the picture it just says Happy Easter or something like that.
Sorry, my dogs. Happy Easter. Awesome. So check that out. Well, I'll try to find it or you send it to me and I'll link it into the show description. But it was really good. It was a great horror movie little short. And it's cute and it's like 1 minute or 2 minutes long. But yeah, our own little Roxy Perez has a fun, exciting horror short going on out there. We should
Maybe I should
promote that.
upload it to YouTube.
We should, yeah, actually, it's not on YouTube.
No,
Oh my God, woman, put that on
I don't
YouTube.
have it on YouTube.
Go put it on YouTube. Oh my God. Drop that on YouTube. And also we should you know, brag about it while we're at Comic Palooza. If we
Right?
end up at Comic Palooza this year. Hmm. Comic Palooza would be cool. So we might be going to Comic Palooza in Houston coming up
Yes.
in late May. So there's a few actors that Miss Roxy would like to check out,
Yeah.
and a few other little things that I'm sure we can have fun with and enjoy. But let's take a look at something real quick. Um, the one that you saw that made you scream, what was that called again?
Outside the box or
Outside the
something
box.
like that. Yeah.
Okay, definitely check. So that's another
That one,
recommendation.
yeah, you need to watch that one. That one was creepy.
Now, before I go on, I do want to say this. If you are going to look at The Smiling Man, there are two short films out there with the same title. The one that we watched is the
Oh,
2018 short
other
film.
side of the box. Sorry.
other side of the box. And so what was that about? If you can explain it.
So basically, this guy shows up at like an old friend's house.
Hmm.
Apparently these two have some kind of sordid history. Like I guess the one guy took the other guy's girlfriend or something, or I don't know. And they're still together. So the other guy shows up at the couple's house and he asks, like, hey, is she here? And he's like, no, she's not, lying because she is there.
Hmm.
And then he's like, oh, I just want to put this behind us, blah, 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 and gives him the box. And then he like opens it and it's like nothing. There's nothing in there. And he's like, well, he stands there and makes sure that he opens it. He's looking and he's like, man, there's nothing in here. What are you doing? And while he's looking, the guy bolts and he's just like, I'm sorry. I had to give it to somebody. And he ran out. And then there's a note and he's like, the note says, don't take your eyes off of it. It wants you to look away. And then they're like, what the hell? What does that mean? And then they look back at the box and all you see is this out of the box, like just eyes like this, like staring at you. And it's fucking creepy. And it's like every time they look away, it comes out a little bit more. Like it's so gross. It's so creepy.
Interesting.
It's really
Okay.
creepy.
And
But
why
I'm like, still, like,
and
don't take your eyes off that shit.
and why not gift it to the person you're angry at, you know?
Right? Like, bitch, you ruined my life. Here, let me ruin
You
yours.
you stole my woman. Here you go, a belated wedding present.
Right. I can think of a few people I would give that box to. No.
Right? How terrible. How terrible.
Yeah, but I don't want to give like the whole story away, but that's basically the gist of it.
Okay, that sounds
Don't
good.
take
That
your eyes off the fucking box.
sounds like something totally worth checking out. At
It
least
was
I
really
think
good.
so.
It was really good. I liked it a lot. And then because we enjoyed that one so much, we watched a couple more, which I can't remember. Oh, one of them was called Zip. That one was good.
Zip. Okay.
Mhm.
Sounds kind of like a clown thing, but
No, it was I'm trying to think what country it was. But basically, like this father is trying to give away his daughter for marriage,
hmm.
and it's like an arranged marriage, and she's very like, I like, no, I'm not doing that. Like she had just turned 16.
Hmm.
She was trying to write songs for a talent show. Um, and then like the day before she's supposed to meet him, her and her dad get into an argument because she's like, you can go to this arrangement, I'm not going, basically, right? So she goes to her room, she goes to bed. The next day she wakes up and she's got a zipper on her mouth.
Hmm.
Like they sewed a zipper into her face while she was asleep.
Wow. Okay,
It was
craziness.
crazy. And then you're just like, what the hell is going on? But it's a good show. I don't want to give away that one either. It's really good. But at the end, they put a thing like, the screen goes black and they put words. And it was like, what does it say? How much does your voice cost or something like that?
Hmm.
Like, how expensive is your voice or something like that? So basically, like, you need to be heard. Your voice is important type
Right.
message. It was
Interesting.
really good. I
Okay.
liked it. But yeah, that
Sounds
led us down the rabbit hole of watching some other ones, and they were good. So I highly suggest a night in and watching short films.
that sounds like a great idea and an affordable idea.
Yes. Champagne and chill.
There you
Champagne and short
go.
films.
Exactly, exactly. But let's say you out there in listener land have a, short film you'd like to suggest to us or for us
Oh,
to
yeah.
check out.
Or
Please
you have one you
do.
want us to watch.
Yes, exactly. Send it to us to the VCR show at gmail.com and check out our social medias, which is just the VCR show anywhere, and our website,
Everywhere.
thevcrshow.com. And if you want to champagne and chill and watch horror films with the lovely Miss Roxy, you can hit her up at her social medias, which are
On Facebook at Roxy Perez Curvy Model, on Instagram at PopRox428, and on TikTok at the PopRox. And that's POPROXX.
wow, you did that. Good for you.
What?
Nothing. I'll tease you about it later when I see you. But until next time, I'm Vara,
And I'm Roxy.
and you've been listening to VCR.
Later.
Bye. You have been listening to VCR, creative content by Richard Christopher Vara and Roxy Perez. Logo by Richard Christopher Vara with assistance from Annie Ramirez. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach us at thevcrshow@gmail.com or our social medias at Instagram and Twitter at the VCR Show. And you can also check out our content at thevcrshow.com. The show's song is Addict by Nefex, instrumental, and you can find them on YouTube Music Library.